is an A7 chord with a G, right? If you give me the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you how you can play any chord in FL Studio using a few simple rules. Well, almost any chord. Using just a few simple rules, and you can create it in your piano roll. So if you see something on, chords written out to a particular song, maybe you want to remake a song, or maybe you're looking for just a good chord progression, this will show you how to do it. My name is Jason Dowdy. I've been an artist and producer for over 20 years. I've worked with people like Timbaland and Aaliyah, and I teach independent artists how to produce for themselves so they can take their career to that next level. Now, if you'd like a free course on how you can create a professional track in less than 2 hours using just FL Studio and free stuff you can find on the internet, just go ahead and write the word yes, Y-E-S, in the comments below, and I'll go ahead and DM that over to you. But let's hop right into it. So there's just a few rules with chords that I think is going to help you out. All right, so let me share my screen real quick. All right. Share this one. And I'm going to share the system audio as well. There we go. All right, let me bring up FL Studio. Okay, so I've got the piano roll open, and I'm using this tool here called Snap to Scale, which is a little music note. And what this does is it actually highlights the scale of whatever key you're in. So for this example, we're just going to stay in the key of C major. But I am going to turn off the feature, but the highlighting is going to be the same. And when I talk about highlighting, what I'm talking about is the light gray notes in the grid. So for example, C, D, the ones I'm highlighting here, the light gray ones are the ones that are in the C major scale. All right. But I'm going to go ahead and turn this off because we're going to slide some notes up and down that aren't necessarily in that scale to create some chords. So there we go. Let me just click on it real quick, turn that off. And you can just click on it twice and it should. This is a new skin I'm trying here. There we go. Now it's off. And everything's bright green, so you can't tell if it's on or off. But anyway, let's get right into it. So we're going to start with our root note. And think of every note as having a number. So our root note in this case is the note of C. D is note 2. E is note 3. F is note 4. G is note 5. A is note 6. And B is note 7. And then finally, the C up the octave is note 8, right? So think of every note as having a number associated with it, starting from the root note. And what we're going to do is we're going to play a major triad. So here, let me scale this out a bit. All right. So major triad's just the 1, 3, and the 5. 1, 3, 5. And the way you can do it is you can just count up light gray. So you got your root. This is 2. D is 2. E is 3, right? And then count up 2 more, and you've got your 5th. So 1, 3, and 5. That is a major chord. Now, in order to create a minor chord, a minor triad chord, and we're just going to use triads to begin with here, you take the third and you lower it 1/2 step. So you're actually on a black note. So here's major, there's minor. All right. Now, in order to create a suspended chord, we're going to raise the third up 1/2 step. So we got major, minor, and then we have suspended. Now we're going to create a diminished chord, and what you do for that one is we're going to start with our triad. You lower the third 1/2 step, and you lower the 5th 1/2 step. So this is what diminished sounds like. And your ears will eventually understand the difference and start to be able to pick it out, and you'll be able to do this yourself in any key with any root note. One final one I do want to go over is augmented. So got our C major chord here. Augmented, you just raise the 5th up 1/2 step. And that's augmented. All right, cool. And then you'll see those written here. Let me see if you'll see them written like this. Like we have a C, we have C minor. SUS means suspended. Diminish means, DIM means diminish. You'll see CAUG, or sometimes you'll see it as a plus symbol. And then we're going to talk about these letters and numbers as well. All right, so those are the major chord types. Now, let's say you wanted a C major 7th. How would you write that? It's probably, you probably have already figured it out. You got your 1, you got your 3, you have your 5, you got your 6 here, and then you have your 7 up here. That's your 7th chord. So literally, you're just adding the number of the note. You know, let's say you wanted a C minor 4th. You would just add the 4th right there. So we got C major 7th, C minor 4th. Now, what does this slash and letter mean here? Oh, bear with me. Sharing the wrong screen here. There we go. What does this slash D mean? Well, that's talking about your bass note. So you can just add a bass note. Find this. Here we go. So, for example, if you wanted D in the bass, you would do a slash D. So I'm going to add a D note to the bass of this chord. So now we have a C major 7th with a D in the bass. Right? And then maybe you want a G in the bass for the next chord, which is a C minor with a 4th, G in the bass. All right, so those are some of the basic rules of chord building. Obviously, you can only use the scale highlighting for the key that you are in. There is a way to switch, you know, what key you're in every 4 bars or every, you know, whatever interval you want. But hopefully that gives you an idea of how chords are created, what, you know, what those letters and numbers and symbols mean. Sometimes you'll see like it'll say C augmented with a 7th, but it's flat. There's a flat symbol by the 7th, right? So that just means you take the 7th and you lower it a half step. It can get a little more complex than that, but that's the idea. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. Hopefully it made sense. If you'd like a free course on how to create a professional sounding track in less than 2 hours, just write the word yes, Y-E-S, in the comments below, and I'll DM that over to you. Let me just stop sharing my screen real quick here. All right. Yeah, write the word yes. I'll DM that over to you. Just write it in the comments below. Otherwise, until then, keep creating.